Hello and welcome everybody. Another draft we're diving into today. Vintage Cube is still up, so I'm going to do Vintage Cube. This video is going to go up a little bit earlier in the week than I usually do because I will be on vacation, so going to enjoy that. This pack, lots of fun stuff. I'm a big fan of Kozilek. Just kind of in general, I like Venser. Painful Truce can be pretty good. Noble Hierarch is one of the better green drops. And the Signets I take pretty highly, and I will take it here. Could take green and kind of get into that strategy, kind of cut it off a little bit, but I typically like more of the Signet-y action, and Demir Signet's a pretty good one, so we'll go from there. This pack you have Fast Bond, which is pretty broken in the right deck. Botanical Sanctum, Jace Bellerin is pretty good, Zealous Conscripts is pretty good, Pack Rat is pretty good, another Signet, and a Pentad Prism. Treasure Cruise, Skull Clamp, pretty busted. Elishnorn, pretty decent. I'm gonna stick with the Signet theme here, I believe. Could take Pentad Prism too. Pentad Prism is fine, but I think the Signet's a little bit better. Double Signets kind of go into more decks that I like to build in here. Jace Bellerin will also be a pretty fine pick. Pack Rat wouldn't be too bad early, or either grab it early and go from there. But we'll grab Double Signet. Here we have Triple Signet, which is pretty good. Courser, good in the green deck. Hollowed Fountain, Through the Breach, and Treachery, which is a really, really good card. When it enters the battlefield, untap 5 lands and you gain control of a creature, so it's pretty much for free as long as nothing goes wrong. And this just grabs anything, including that Kozilek we had talked about earlier. So definitely going to snag this while I got the chance. Repeal is also pretty good. Snag this while we got the old Chanceroonies and go from there. So in this pack we have Preordained, which is pretty good. Elvish Mystic, the 1-drop mana elves are pretty solid, especially in Vintage Cube. People don't tend to run as much removal, and so the green ramp decks can often go over a lot of decks, especially if you get a good one. But compared to artifact mana, they can be pretty slow and they're fragile. So here it's between Toxic Deluge and Wooded Foothills. Deluge is just kind of a good overall control element. Foothills fetch land is pretty good. I'm going to take the Deluge here. I find having stuff like this is pretty good. Leovold, I actually pretty like. A lot of decks in this cube running card draw, or they have targeted removal, they have different things, so I like that one a lot. Imperial Seal, good for Storm, good for other combo. Mystic Confluence is probably just one of the better all-around cards. Really, really great, especially if you can get the mana to do it. Ravages of War is pretty solid as well. Chain Lightning, Terminate, but Mystic Confluence, so many things that this spell can do. It's just pretty high pick in the cube overall. This pack is not great. You have concealed. You have a few of the dual lands, which are fine, but nothing really that we're looking for. Mystic or Mana Confluence can be pretty good. We already picked up Mystic Confluence. Probably just going to take Frost Titan here. Frost Titan is pretty good, pretty solid finisher. It's not the most amazing in the world, but it's not too bad either. So here we can pick up Underground Sea, which so far looks to be a solid pickup. We can also pick up Splinter Twin with the hopes that we can grab the Splinter Twin combo and go from there. There's also Marsh Flats. I think all the rest of the stuff is kind of subpar. I think it's between Splinter Twin and Underground Sea. I do like to pick up Splinter Twin early because it gives you outs to just kind of the win, like busted win. So I'm definitely interested in something like that. Over Underground Sea would also be a really, really solid choice. Do wish we could grab that too, but I think grabbing Splinter Twin, it's just a little more powerful. So here we could grab Brawl, we could grab Burning. I mean, we only have 2 signets so far, so it's kind of iffy. We could also grab Wrath of God. I think I'm going to grab Burning on the off chance that it's pretty good. Here we could grab Sphinx of the Steel Wind. This is best as kind of a Tinker or Reanimator target. Probably wouldn't really cast it, so we'd be hoping to pick up Tinker, and that's less exciting. Siege Gang is okay. Pretty good with a Splinter Twin as a backup. I'm going to take Painful Truce, though. Having access to a pretty nice draw spell is pretty sweet. So here, I don't hate Seething Song. Treasure Cruise is pretty good, though it looks like we're not really doing too many cantrippy things. So I'm going to take Pentad Prism, especially because of Burning. The Prism's not the best because it's not repeatable. So we can take Hollowed Fountain or Repeal. I'm probably going to take Repeal. Hollowed Fountain is sweet. Actually, it might be... No. I'm going to take Repeal. We're kind of lacking early interaction. This at least will do something if we can't find anything else to pick up. I'll take Old Thraggy here. Who knows? We might go Sultai. So far it looks pretty healthy to be blue and black, just from what we've picked up. I suppose I'll pick up Scroll Rack and Life Bane Zombie. Good against creature decks. Not too many people run those, but Blade Splicer. That's where the Hollowed Fountain would have come in handy. Although, I'm less impressed with blue-white in this cube. Just because that strategy tends to be better against more creature strategies, and there's less creature strategies. In cube. I do like blue-black as kind of a control combo, though. And we got the perfect signet for it. You have access to green and white if we really need it, but so far, doesn't really seem that way. We'll have to see what we pick up. Alright, lots of fun stuff. There's the Abyss, which is actually pretty interesting. Emrakul, the Promised End, Bop. Mox Diamond, which isn't the worst. It does count as a spell, though, and it's better for combo because you're trying to get it out early. There's a Mold Drifter, a Shelldock Isle, and a Steam Vents, and those are probably what I'm trying to decide between. Right now we don't really have any mana fixing, but I do like Shelldock Isle a lot. There's no guarantee we're going to be in red. So I think I'm going to take the Shelldock Isle and kind of be sad a little bit. So there's lots of fun stuff here. There's Kiki Jiki, so we could speculate even further. Ulamog, Mana Crypt, Everflowing Chalice. I actually really like Walking Ballista in this cube. It's come in handy a lot. Vidalcan Shackles is pretty okay. Iona, good for reanimating. But obviously, Mana Crypt is just busted and definitely makes burning a more viable strategy. I'm going to take Mana Crypt. Don't you like how I played around that? It was like, oh, look at all these cool cards. Actually, we're just going to take the card everyone knew we were going to take from the beginning. But that's how it goes. That's how Cube is. There are way more hard decisions. Sometimes you get like Mana Crypt and then a card that would be perfect for your deck, and you have to decide. One time, I was lucky enough to open both Ancestral Recall and Black Lotus, and I cried. Cried a lot. I ended up taking the Ancestral, but Black Lotus might have been even better. So here we have Strip Mine, which I really like. If we can find a Crucible, then we have a Soft Lock. Coercive Portal I really like. Jace I really like. Gush is fine. Kolaghan's Command is good value. Fire and Ice is pretty solid. Out of this, I like Coercive Portal actually the most. I tend to take this pretty high just because a one-sided Howling Mine is really good. Like, really good. So, Jace is fine. Don't mind Jace. And sorry to see the Strip Mine go. Hopefully we can get one of those two back. But I think Coercive Portal is just the pick there. So now we have Fixing, if we need it. Mental Misstep. Probably not a Delver deck. Mental Misstep is kind of fine. Sword of War and Peace is okay, but not great. Entomb, so we could try and jump on the Reanimator train. We're actually not too bad off for Reanimator. Right now, it kind of looks more just like blue-black control. I'm going to take Creeping Tar Pit. Mana Fixing is really nice in this cube. So now we have Pestermite to go with our Splinter Twin. Hero's Downfall, which is good for killing off some stuff. Verdant, which is really good for fixing. Nahiri is solid. I'm going to go ahead and take the Pestermite. It looks like we're running more towards Splinter Twin burning kind of thing. So, Torrential, I like Torrential quite a bit. Torrential Mystic Confluence is pretty sweet. Doesn't look like we have too much other stuff. Could Phyrexian Metamorph. There's also Sacred Foundry. Relzeric, I'm not super impressed with overall. He's not the worst, but he's decent in like big mana decks. I think I'm actually going to take Phyrexian Metamorph here. I like Torrential quite a bit. Oh, well, there we go. Rewarded. So, one thing I had in mind with Phyrexian Metamorph is it can be another Signet, it can be another Coercive Portal, can be more Mana Rocks, which goes well with Burning. Torrential so far only hits Mystic Confluence and Repeal, which is not the best. If it hits Mystic Confluence, just such value. It would be super awesome, but not going to happen every game. And I like the idea now of making this an Upheaval deck, because Upheaval, Burning, cool stuff, probably some of my favorite things. So Mystical Tutor here I think is great. Gets instant sorcery, which is what we're trying to do. Essentially is a third Wildfire effect, a second upheaval effect. And it can also get us something like Toxic Deluge if we need it to, Painful Truce, Mystic Confluence to draw us cards, what have you. So I think Mystical Tutor is right for this deck. And now you have Steam Vents coming around. There's also Emrakul, but definitely like the Steam Vents option the most. I do like Dark Petition. Nothing else really stands out here. Garrick Primal Hunter is sweet, but Dark Petition, for this deck, we may or may not run it, but probably worth at least considering. It can get us kind of our stuff we want, adds mana. Demonic Tutor for like upheaval or burning is pretty great. Now, red-white, black-white, black. I guess we'll take the kill spell, Hedge Our Bets. We'll take Mental Misstep as a sideboard card. Dark Ritual, which could make it, you never know. Magus of the Will. Ooh, stuff we don't care about. Dark Ritualing out one of our more powerful cards. Could be sweet. Might not be worth it, but could be sweet. Alright. What do we want to open? Probably a Mox. I think a Mox would probably be the best. Probably even more than Black Lotus, although certainly wouldn't say no to Black Lotus. Well, did not get our wish. Did not get our wish. Ulamog, good for big mana, good for sneak attack, show and tell. Because we're burning upheaval, these tend to be like the height that we really want to do, because we're going to cast them on 8 or 9, and then we won't cast this for forever. So Brainstorm, Electrolyze, Tezzeret the Seeker can get us more, can find us our signets. Grim Tutor can find us our stuff, but considering we already have Dark Petition, Mentor, I think it's between. I like a Smash. I like Electrolyze. I like Tezzeret. I don't hate Brainstorm. I think I'm just gonna take Smash. Sounds weird. Sounds really weird, but I like the idea of, I like destroying artifacts in this cube because there's so many of them. Here, I think it's a pretty easy Ashiok. Spirebluff Canal would be pretty good. Fatal Push wouldn't be bad for more early interaction. Lava Claw Reaches would be okay. Inferno Titan, we're kind of choked up here. I think Inferno Titan is better than Frost Titan. Phantasmal Image. Time Spiral is okay. It would actually not be too bad in this deck because we're like emptying out our hand, and then Time Spiral can get us a new hand. But these are more for the Storm decks. I wouldn't be too surprised if Time Spiral came around. And so we're going to take Ashiok as kind of another win condition. So we have Trinket Mage, which can get us Mana Crypt. Chandra Flame Caller, pretty good. Backup plan. Help us actually win. Although we do have Pessamite, Splinter Twin, and then Burning Upheaval to get ahead and kind of win. But on that vein, I think Compulsive is probably the best. Just more card draw gets us closer to Burning Upheaval, gets us our signets. I can also see Trinket Mage to grab Mana Crypt. I don't think Ultimate Price is quite what we want. Nev's Disc, probably not what we want to do since we want to drop, signets and artifact mana. Yeah, I think it's just compulsive. Maybe that Chandra will come back around. So we have Spell Pierce, Rakdos's Return, which is pretty solid. So far, we don't have too many mana rocks, though. So we're looking like kind of burning upheaval. I think we have to play more control. And then eventually burning or upheaval for the value to win. So I think because of that, I'd rather take Spell Pierce over Rakdos's Return. If we had a couple more mana rocks, I would probably grab this. But as is, I like the early interaction. Mindslaver can be a good way to win. Thirst, pretty solid, but we already have Compulsive. I'm going to take Go for the Throat. Just because we don't really have an early game. This can help us survive. Thada Adele is also pretty good. But with upheaval or with burning, it's really good. With upheaval, it's less good because then they get all their mana rocks that we steal from them. So I'm gonna go with Go for the Throat. Ooh. So there's a Bloodstained Mire. There's also a High Tide, which is not the worst with upheaval burning, but a Signet kind of rounds out this plan. I do like Bloodstained Mire a lot as well. Shadow Mage isn't too bad, but I think we just need the Signet. So you have Brain Maggot. Imperial Recruiter can serve as kind of a second Pestermite. It can also get Phyrexian Metamorph. Which are our two creatures. Olivia Voldaren, okay. Yogwill. Richwing Cloudskate is okay. I think I'm actually going to take Recruiter. Just because it kind of gets us where we need to be. Probably take the Revoker here. I don't know if we run it, but we'll take it. Electrolyze. It's probably what we want. A little more interaction. Oath. I think it's between Lava Claw Reaches and Spirebluff Canal, and I'm more tempted to go with the Manland because I think that can help us kind of close it out. Probably take Nev's Disc. We're probably not going to run it, but we're not going to run any of the other stuff either, so. Alright, now I'll take Rakdos's Return. I think it's a little bit better, considering what we picked up. Suppose we'll take Thirst and High Tide. So I'm going to take out Dark Petition. I think we want to keep things a little leaner. If you can go Upheaval, Burning, drop a Frost Titan, I think that's pretty solid. Sort by mana cost. Okay, so we have several artifacts, and so probably want to run 16 lands because of Burning Upheaval. Probably take out Painful Truce for now, just because we have Compulsive Research, and Coercive Portal, Mystic Confluence, Repeal, Electrolyze, a Mystical Tutor. That all kind of fix or draw us into what we need. Painful Truce is a very good card, but I think it's okay to drop it here. So then we have Mana Crypt, Steam Vent, Shell Dock, Lava Claw, Creeping Tar Pit. I'll sort by color. So 1, 2, 3 blue. Three blue, 9 blue. Makes sense. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 black. That also makes sense. I guess we have 9, 10, 11-ish blue. And then 3, 4, 5. Only 5 red. I think we need... I think we're good on swamps. I think we want at least 6 red. Yeah, that seems fine to me. Alright, I will see you guys for the first... Alright, and welcome to the first match. Yes, we will go first. I don't think we can actually keep that hand. We will keep this one. Keep that on top. We don't have a blue source, which is really unfortunate. But if we draw one, then we'll have the combo in our hand. So opponents, mono white aggro. Oh, well, there we go. Shrine of Burning Rage. Makes us a 2. Activates Copter. Copper. Good old Copper. We Pestermite. We'll just tap it down. And we win. Hopefully the opponent doesn't make us... Yep, okay. Opponent does not make us play it out. Essentially what happens there, Splinter Twin, you tap, make a copy of, and it has haste. Pestermite lets you untap the original Pestermite. Boom, boom, boom. Do it over and over, and you get a bunch of stuff. And it's pretty cool. So... Phyrexian Revoker has some use here because it can name like Copter. Mental Misstep also has a little bit. Same with Bone Shredder. Repeal is less good. Rakdos' Return is less good. Mental Misstep might not be worth it. I think the others are, though. So we'll try it like that. Alright, so here we have what could be a decent hand if we draw a land. We got two draws and a land. I'm actually going to mulligan. Alright, this one is not as good. Not nearly as good. But I think it is keepable. Alright, we're going to play island, hold up, spell pierce. Maybe we should have gambled on that first hand. That first hand was pretty solid. I can't do anything about that. The life gain we're less concerned about. I guess upheaval's not super great. We're going to spell pierce that one. Don't want the opponent being able to smuggle stuff. We're going to take 4 here. We're going to get a little greedy. See if the opponent will play out any other creatures. And then we can get him next turn. Opponent wisely does not. So we get a nice 2-for-1. Ooh, and a Nahiri. Gets rid of chain lightning. We're gonna hold up Mystic Confluence. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have like doesn't have Emrakul. Selfless Spirit, sure. Alright, so you can play Frosty Tea. We could get destroyed by it. I guess it's a question of, does the opponent have Emrakul or not? I think the answer is probably not. We could just be dead, but I think the potential overall getting rid of this Nahiri could be pretty sweet. Yeah, so opponent doesn't have like an Emrakul or anything. They're just trying to get card advantage out of this. Figure of Destiny, a path, and pay for the path. Sure. We will get another island. Swamp. 1, 2, 3. Let's compulsive. Oof. This one's rough. If we get rid of 2 cards, I mean, we want all of these cards. I think I'm actually just going to get rid of land. Play Ashiok, distract them for a turn, and then depending on what our opponent does, we have some good stuff. Sure. I actually might be able to win here, depending on what they have, because I can pump this up to a 4/4, and then if they have a 6 power creature, that's not that bad. Sure. We take 9. Or we take 4. Linvala bounces back. We take figure. Seems good to me. That was probably the least scary thing that could happen. All right, so we're gonna treachery this figure. Probably go for throat this guy. So this one we need 6 red mana. And we'll pass, holding up Mystic Confluence. Sure. Opponent discards Sacred Foundry. They have 6 mana. Mystic Confluence the Linvala. We will counter, draw 2 cards. Opponent disenchants. Okay. It's not that big of a deal. Ooh, that's really not that big of a deal. We do need to get this Nihiri off, but... okay. Let's see. So Mana Crypt could go pretty awful. Could Burning. Could Metamorph. I do like Burning because it gets rid of this. Can we still upheaval even after that? I think so. So if we... Oop, yeah, we need 6. We Burning. One, 2, 3, 4. So essentially takes the pressure off. We get a shell dock isle. So this one's tough. We could Selesnya Signet and plan on upheaval. I think it's more worth it to take Splinter Twin. And now we'll pass. Gets rid of Resto. Plays Bushwhacker. Okay. Pentad Prism. I think we can let this go. Go one more. I don't think we need to rush things. Maybe we should have upheavaled Jite. Okay, I don't really care about that. Doesn't attack us. Doesn't tick up Nahiri. Okay. We shall pass. Gets rid of Elspeth. Equips Jite. We play Pestermite. Tap down this Bushwhacker. Yes. Yes, please. Tap that guy. And then Splinter Twin. Did the opponent find a removal spell? They did not. All right. So that was the first match. I'll see you guys for the second match. Hope you enjoyed double. All right. Welcome to the second match. This hand looks pretty solid. So we're going to go ahead and keep this guy. Forest. I'm going to lead with Lava Claw Reaches because we have this Smash. Pardon me. I don't know what the opponent would be doing, but yeah. Turn 2 Ashiok seems pretty solid, so. And, alright, opponent doesn't want to deal with that, so opponent scoops it up. Looks like we're against kind of a maybe a creature kind of deck. Life Pain Zombie could be good. Bone Shredder would probably be good. What don't we want? Is there anything we don't want? You know, I think we're actually pretty well set up. I think we could trade Repeal for Bone Shredder. I don't think we have to, so let me just run it back. We did not see much of the opponent's deck, so now this hand is pretty awful. Mostly lands, but I'm gonna keep because we're on the draw and we could easily draw into good things. Otherwise we can get maybe an early Frost Titan. We can get some fun stuff. So Lava Claw reaches. Pestermite was an interesting one. Opponent Vamp Tutors. So they like Jund stuff. Gets a. I wonder if they tutored for a forest. That'd be funny. There's a birds. Ooh. Well, there's not much we can do about the birds. Kind of wish we had a repeal there. That would have been funny. 4 mana Hedron Archive. So I think what I'm gonna do here is we can Rakdos is returned for 2, but that doesn't really get us far. So I think I'm going to upkeep Pestermite, get the Hedron Archive. I doubt the opponent's going to sack it for cards. And then if he plays land and doesn't do anything else, looks like he's got something else, but Deranged Hermit. Interesting. Oh, that's pretty good. So the opponent next turn hits us for 9. If we Rakdos his return. He's likely to do it anyway, though. I think we just pass, honestly. See what the opponent does. Let's it go. All right. We're less worried about this. Sure, yeah. Hit us for 4. We don't care. All right, 7 mana. 8 mana. Try and Worm Coil. Well, we're going to counter that. Draw 2. Oop. Signets are hard, folks. Signets are hard. So they have 1 card left in their hand. So we could Frost Titan. I think Frost Titan's probably the way to go. Frost Titan, keep the archive tapped down. My opponent only has 6 mana. I mean, they can still do something, but they had 8 mana, and their best play was Worm Coil. So they got Den Protector. Don't really care about Den Protector. I'm gonna go there. I think. Do you do that? That. And I don't think Rakdos's return is getting any better. So might as well get the last card out of my opponent's hand. Heartbeat of Spring. Okay. Question now is, do we want to attack with Frost Titan? Because opponent could block with 3 squirrels and this Den Protector. And then that's kind of it. I don't think we do. I don't think we need to. Does opponent get back? They get back Heartbeat of Spring. Okay. I don't know if the opponent's hoping to combo off or what. 1, 2, 3. I mean, if they play it into our upheaval, oh, do we have bad news for them? Part of me is like, don't do it, opponent. And the other part's like, do it. I want to see this. Heartbeat of Spring would be, a survival. Would pretty much be their downfall. Can crack the archive. Which would be fine. Rule of thumb is never play Heartbeat of Spring. Yeah, never play Heartbeat of Spring and then let your opponent untap with it. This is going to go very poor for the opponent. And there we go. All right, so the match is ours. Second match, pretty quick one. See you guys for the third one. Hopefully we can take that one too. All right. This hand looks not too bad. This is a keep. This is a third match, by the way. Things have gone well so far. We'll see how... Ooh. Steam Vent's tapped. Pass turn. So we have a 2, 3, and 4. Opponent time walks. Essentially an explorer. It's not a bad route to go. Looks like they're... Ooh. Opponent's on something spicy. Time walk was good for him. We'll pass. Hopefully we don't just die here. That would be pretty sucky. Reveals one hangerback walker. It's going to hanger back for 3. Does hanger back for 3. That's pretty good. Could repeal. Could repeal the hanger back. And then Ashiok. Using one of our counters. Could just Ashiok. I think I like repeal the hanger back. Spell pierce, eh? And then Ashiok ahead of the opponent. Battle Ball and Anticipate. We still have a Spell Pierce up if we need it. Backwalker again. Hanger backs for 3 again. We'll exile. Sower and a Sol Ring. Ooh. Opponent's on that good stuff. We play Coercive Portal and then pass. Depending on what they do, if they don't attack Ashiok, then we're probably going to Sower this Hangerback Walker. Ooh, Academy's a good one. Opponent had only been revealing one artifact at a time, so I feel like the rest of their hand is not great. Yep, attacks Ashiok. Also attacks Ashiok. You have 7 mana opponent. Opponent has some fun stuff. Time Walk. Sower, Battle Ball. Oh no. No! Alright, opponent gets Batter Skull. We're going to go with Homage. We have a few good draws here. Neither of those were it. Sheldock's not too bad, I suppose. We will exile. Ooh, so we have Treachery, Pestermite, Mystical Tutor. Pestermite could win us the game if we find Splinter Twin. Treachery also likely wins us the game. Mystical Tutor gets us there. Mana Crypt is Mana Crypt. I think it's between Treachery and Pestermite. I'm leaning towards Treachery. Pestermite is good. Maybe it's just Pestermite and hope to draw the Splinter Twin combo. I'm going to go with Treachery, though. I have a feeling the opponent's got some stuff cooking. They have a bunch of mana. So if they drop like a giant, Eldrazi or something, being able to take it seems pretty good. Signet, sure. Homage. Homage. Ooh. Upheaval, Imperial Recruiter. Not too bad. Not too bad. Treachery also allows us to upheaval a little bit more. A little bit better. Because we spend 2 mana and we get to untap 5 mana because Shelldock lets us cast it for free. And so we net 3 mana that way, and then we can play out our stuff. I'm trying to think if it's time for that yet. I don't think it is. Because we don't really have a way to get ahead yet. And like treachery into upheaval is not a very good way to go. I'm going to play Imperial Recruiter. Could get Pestermite. Could get Phyrexian Metamorph and copy Batterskull. What's our plan? I think we actually get Metamorph. Now we can copy Coercive Portal, we can copy Batterskull. Hangerback Walker wouldn't do anything. Is it Signet? I feel like it's Batterskull or Coercive Portal. Batterskull would be really good. I think more mana would also be good if we're going to upheaval. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Spend 2, 4. Up 5. 9. 10, as long as we don't have to use it. Upheaval. This would be 11. Coercive Portal. Land. Pentad Prism. That makes sense to me. I have a feeling the opponent does have a counterspell in hand, though. They've been holding on to something for a while. They did not counter that, though. That seems like the type of thing you would want to counter, so... I don't know what it could be. Maybe it's just like a giant fatty thing. Because now they have 4, 10, 11 mana. Potentially 13. Have so much mana. Please don't kill us this turn. Don't care about Tinker. I don't think. Unless they like Mindslaver. If they just get like Blightsteel, or if they get one of the creatures, then it doesn't matter because we can upheaval. We could steal it if we want to. Ah, Winter Orb. That is a good one. Mana Crypt was a very good draw. We're gonna wait on Upheaval. Do you want to electrolyze? I don't think so. I think we just pass. We don't need the mana this turn. We will treachery this hangerback. We shall take that, thank you, sir. One, two, three, four, five. One attacks. Will block, thank you, opponent. We get Doctors. Thought I'd Adele, sure. Untap Shelldock Isle. Choose Homage. The Signet. Okay. So we're gonna Mana Crypt. Upheaval everything. Well, we'll take the Deluge. Don't really need Tar Pit. We can keep 3 lands and all of our spells. So, goodbye, 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 and we do need 2 red, so goodbye. Now they go to clean up. Tails, that was good. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. Alright, yeah. So the Q is going to be winning before Mana Crypt killed us, but we would have been pretty close. So that worked well. That went certainly pretty well. So I want to bring Mental Misstep in because we did see Sol Ring, and there's other 1 mana artifacts they could have. We don't want them to have. Bone Shredder doesn't seem too good. Dark Ritual, Dark Petition, Phyrexian Revoker seems pretty good. Nev's Disc could be pretty good, although we don't want it to hit our stuff. Smash seems great. It doesn't seem good. Toxic doesn't seem as good. Go for the Throat doesn't seem very good. Toxic's probably better. Electrolyze seems okay. Spell Pierce seems pretty solid. Rakdos's Return seems okay. Maybe we don't need Misstep. We'll just hope to get in front of our opponent. Problem with this one is no red mana. But we do have Double Signet and Upheaval. And Mana Crypt. So I'm definitely more inclined to keep this. And if we draw red, we have Smash, Rakdos's Return, which together can be great. Turn 1 Metalworker, good. So, new plan. Phyrexian Revoker, great. Pithing Needle can't stop mana abilities. Phyrexian Revoker can on non-land cards. So I think the double was just a little too much. A little too much for us to deal with, but if we can... Stopping the metal worker, I think, saves us. Like the... Okay. Time walk, sure. Opponent could attack. We would just trade off, though. Which the opponent knows. Oh, I'm dumb. Yeah. Mistake, mistake, mistake alert. Should have mana crypted a signet, then tap the signet. Okay, opponent time walks and then does nothing. There's more black mana, which is not what we needed. Could they have a flasher here? That'd be bad. They're already mostly empty-handed, though, so... Yeah. Opponent trades off. What that really bought us was time. They could have more Battle Sphere here. Yeah. That one we're going to need to kill ASAP. So we're going to need to draw red or blue mana. Oh, there's blue mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is more to save our skins. Is it Signet? Yeah. Well, there's the red mana. All right. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only hit 3 of them. It's probably not worth it. What is probably worth it, though, is smashing that. Stops their mana development. Oh, 3 flips in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we hit him for 4. Hit him for 5. So next turn we'll probably Rakdos's Return. And hopefully they like land drop something insignificant. And we get the rest of the cards in their hand. Because they can't Battle Ball this turn. They can play something really annoying though. Like a Trinket Mage. They can get a Sol Ring. We do get ultimate value on this Rakdos's Return, though, because we get to empty their hand. Discard your whole hand, and we have to hope to not die to our Mana Crypt. Or this Trinket Mage. Before they can draw something. Really just hope we find Repeal. What? They're not allowed to draw things. Oh. Less scary, but they still shouldn't be allowed to draw it. Ugh. Alright, well. Wow. Alright. I get it. World's mad at me. Okay, okay. Any order. There's a chance. We have to win this flip, but there is a chance. Alright, Tails never fails. Oh, yeah. Homage. Steam vents. Okay. So I think what we're going to do is play Lava Claw Reaches, pass the turn, going to discard this Toxic, which no longer matters, and in their upkeep, I think we have to Pester Might, just in case they have counters. Tap down this Trinket Mage. Play, draw with Homage. Splinter Twin? Ah, oh, man. Then we, let's see. Don't play Mana Crypt. Imperial Recruiter. Phyrexian Metamorph. We Phyrexian Metamorph. So we can either do Coercive Portal, try and draw more cards, or we can do Pester Might. I think Pester Might, and we'll untap Lava Claw. We'll play Creeping Tar Pit, Pentad Prism, attack with Pester Might. Alright. if opponent bricks don't have something good, if they don't have a direct, okay, batter skull is not not the best, not the best. Can't really treachery that. Okay, equips the batter skull. We're going to block. So at this point, it's about finding Splinter Twin. Okay. Opponent can return batter skull to their hand, which honestly doesn't really matter. To okay, actually Lava Claw reaches, right? Four, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 6. So you can make this into a 5. An attack for 9. Still hold up Mystic. That seems pretty good. Pass turn. Opponent returns batter skull. You definitely don't care about the batter skull. Don't care about that land. Alright, come on. Show me what you got, opponent. Batter skull's not enough to save you. Tinker floating a bunch of mana. This one we're not going to let our opponent resolve. Counter it unless you pay 3 mana leaks, opponent. And there we go. All right. So that was Vintage Cube run through. A couple games went pretty quick. That last game was, last match was a really good one. So hope you guys enjoyed. I always enjoy Vintage Cube. I just think it's great. I don't know why they don't have it all the time, but since they don't, whenever it's here, I love to make sure I get in on the action, and I hope you guys do too. Great format, really sweet. Check you guys next time.